June 5th, 2023 meeting. First order of business is I call for the review of the May 1st meeting minute notes. If everybody's had a chance to look at those. Any questions or comments, or I take a motion?
Take a motion to accept the minutes the way they're written.
Have a motion?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor? Thank you very much. Next order, public hearings. Conditional use permit application for Maple Valley Farms Retail LLC to open an adult use cannabis retail store at 518 Northwalk Road, tax map 12, lot 19, in the rural land use district. Tony is not here tonight.
I haven't seen him. He was notified of the meeting. And his representative did the application, but
Right.
he's to promote, he's to be here to. You started a minute early, so.
Okay, so Tony's here. Tony is my nephew. Because of the conflict of interest oaths that we all take, I shouldn't sit or rule on this issue. So Larry is going to take care of the rest of the agenda. You have one with you? There it is.
Yep.
You've got findings of fact?
Yes.
Conflict of interest says that my fly rod in the back seat of my truck, I'm going above 95. The brown trout start around 5:30. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Later.
You'll be a voting member then. Okay.
Okay, I'd like to open the meeting for public comments on permit for the Maple Valley Pharmacy Retail. If the public has any comments.
I do, yes.
Okay, if you stand at the podium so they can hear you.
I just was really notified about this by the mail out from the town. I was wondering if we have a site plan I can review. On the site plan, I don't see any sort of a buffer blocking my view from the traffic anticipated on going to this building. Before, it was a use of a construction company and just a grow that got minimal traffic, which was great. I didn't mind that one bit. Now I am under the understanding I'm going to anticipate 10 vehicles per hour coming into the residence abutting my land.
Where is your land?
I am just south of it, approximately 30 yards of driveway to it. I also have a problem with the 55-mile-an-hour zone, and I anticipate people driving in the breakdown lane and on the grass in front of my driveway, which could pose a hazard.
Do you share a driveway with this
I
facility?
do not, sir. My driveway is approximately 30 yards to the south.
Okay. So what is
That
your,
must be the line we catch just at the bottom of the map right here.
Yep, that would be it, yep. Now, during 5 months of the year, I'm pretty much secluded from what I would see, but the other 7 months, it's a wide open view of patrons going in and out of the shop, whatever type LED signage is going to be erected, banners, flags, you name it. I don't know what's going there. I was left in the dark, so I'm voicing my opposition to it due to the total change of what is being done to the building.
Okay, anything else?
That's really all I have. Thank you.
Yep. Are there any other comments from the public?
Please. My name is Doug Halley. I live directly across. You can see the driveway. Traffic in and out of there is bad. Bad most of the time, just as the construction business was there. Another, I'm not really opposed to the business being there. I'm all for business. What I'm opposed to is the store. The store part of it bothers me. Attracting more people out there in the area. Right now, we have a lot of privacy, no worries. And having extra people out there kicking around, not comfortable, not very comfortable at all. So I'm opposed to it. I'm opposed to the store part of it. He's had his business there for a while. Joel
Right.
had it there first, then Tony had it there. And we put up with certain things, didn't complain, but it wasn't bad. But this makes me very nervous.
Because it's a store?
Yes. The extra
Okay.
people are gonna be brought into the area because of it. Before these guys came up and they set up their shop for the day, took off, went and built a house or whatever they did, came back at the end of the day, put the tools away, that was fine. Few customers here and there,
Yeah.
but I am opposed to it.
Okay.
Thank you for hearing me.
Anyone else have any input?
I don't know if anyone's
From
joined us.
Zoom? Anybody on Zoom have any comments? Not hearing any? I understand your concerns, but as long as they meet the town ordinance, there isn't anything we can do or have a right to do, as long as they meet the ordinance. And that's what we've taken obligation to do, is withstand the ordinance, so.
Have you already made up your mind?
Big pardon?
Have you already made up your mind to approve it?
No, we have to go through all the finding of facts and all that. So, if no more comment from the public, I'd like to close the public hearing on this one. And the second one is the conditional use permit application for the Maple Valley Pharmacy Cultivation LLC to convert an existing medical cannabis cultivation room into an adult use Tier 1 cultivation room and drying room at 502 Norwich Walk Road on tax map 9, lot 31-C2 in the rural land district. Open this up for the public. Any comments or concerns on this one? Anybody on Zoom that has any comments on this?
There's nobody online.
Okay. So hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on that. Unfinished business, there is none. New business. Conditional use permit application amendment to change the location of Lyman's self-storage facility to conduct a 30-foot by 100-foot self-storage building to be located at the existing location at 553 Skowhegan Road, near the front of the property on tax map 7, lot 2C-1, in the commercial land use district.
So we have Mr. Lyman with us this evening. This was the original plan that the planning board had approved, and it shows the structure to the back of the property. So his existing store is here, and he proposed this long sweeping driveway and placing the structure here. And he's asking this evening, instead of placing the structure here, he would like to place it in accordance with the map he's submitted and place the structure closer to, lining up closer to his store.
And I believe that Tom is doing that because of the cost of putting in a paved driveway all the way up
Yeah,
back.
sure. He's here to speak on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just going to be very expensive to build a road up back right now, so it'd be less expensive to do it near the road. And then at some other date, I might do another one, later on.
But this unit's gonna be smaller than what you'd asked for before, correct?
30 by 100. The original was gonna be 30 by 160. There's not enough room for 30 by 160 there.
Anybody on the board have any comments, concerns?
Do all the same notes and details from the previous plan apply to this plan, because they aren't included here?
Right, it's gonna be just less units. It'd be 24 instead of, I think the other one had 30.
Right, and you had all the ditch lines and all the paving shown. Do you still intend
Yeah.
to do all, so all those notes still apply, just the
Yeah.
location change?
Yep. The paving will probably have to be done like the following year, just because it makes sense to let it set a while before it's paved.
Will the two paved yards meet? Because this plan
Yes.
shows, doesn't appear to show the two paved yards.
Yeah, it'll be continuously
Joining.
paved.
Will there be lighting?
Yes.
Okay, this plan doesn't show lighting either.
Any more questions?
I personally would like to see this plan updated to include all of the details that were included on the previous plan, if that plan is going away. I don't feel this one is detailed enough.
Can we ask for that, Nicole?
The board can ask for what they want. Mr. Lyman has paid Mr. Butler for these plans, and he's just asking that this structure be moved to the front, and he will follow all the notes that have been approved by the board. He would have to most likely pay the engineer again to update a second plan.
Okay. So we'd like to have you update the drawing, so it has its new location onto that drawing with all the same comments that we approved before.
Okay.
Now, does he have to come back with that new drawing?
That's up to the board.
Would you want it to come back?
I would think we should have a complete drawing before we approve anything.
Does everyone agree with that on the board? Do I have anyone?
I tend to disagree. I think we have a decent plan right here.
I agree with you.
That we
I think the proposed changes are fairly simplistic,
Yeah,
and I think that
The kind
he's
of
done his due
routine.
diligence of putting thought into his project and rethought even. I would be comfortable moving forward with what we're given here tonight.
So I guess I need a vote for the members that are in favor of keeping the current one we have now and calling it good, as long as all the drawings are, notes are carried over. One's opposed. So it's 3-1, so I don't have a right to vote, so. He can, we'll accept it as is.
this is good.
Thank you. I'll send you a
Thank you.
revised document. Thank you.
Okay, Nicole?
Yes, I'm ready.
Next one, B, conditional use permit application for Maple Valley Pharmacy Retail LLC to open an adult use cannabis retail store at 518 Norwich Rock Road on tax map 12, lot 19, in the rural land use district. Do I have any discussions, questions from the board members? Have you had a chance to review that?
Yes.
Any questions you have about it? I know some of the neighbors don't like it, and they have concerns, but if it meets the land use ordinance, we have no right to deny it.
Excuse me, sir. Under the Fairfield...
This is closed to the public. This is only for the board members
Oh,
now.
I'm sorry.
You had your chance when they had the public opening. Now it's just the board members. And if they meet finding of facts and everything, we'll make the decision.
I move that we move to the finding of fact.
Can we just hear an overview from the project representative of what the project is and some details around it?
For the retail,
Yep.
for the retail store?
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
overview of what the project is.
Introduce yourself.
My name's Anthony Violet. I live in Fairfield. I've been a resident my entire life of Fairfield. I own Maple Valley Farms. We are a state licensed medical dispensary right now. I've been in business since 2018. I have done over $10 million in sales since 2018, 200,000 transactions. I employ a dozen people. I offer health insurance. I'm moving to the recreational market because the recreational market, I feel, is the market of the future. The 518 location I chose to do my store at is part of the reasoning is you have very few zones that I can actually operate a retail store at. The second reason is I've been leasing the building from my parents since 2018, and it meets the requirements. I have an option to purchase the property, so I have the security of knowing that what my rent is going to be for long term. There's a high traffic flow through the area. I think it fits everything that I would need to operate a store successfully there. So my plan with the building, as you probably saw reviewing the prints, is I'm going to use, there's 2,000 square feet. I was planning on using 1,000 square feet of that space for the retail store. All the, I have a very good relationship with the OCP, with their compliance people, and got a great security layout. There's good lighting. I feel bad for my neighbors here that don't really want to have it in their yard, but there's the amount of traffic that I'm going to draw on that road to what goes down that road right now. I'm not sure the exact count, if it's 20,000 a day, 25, 15, but if I do 50 to 100 transactions a day, a lot of those people are people that actually travel that road, and they're gonna go down that road anyway. As far as Mr. Violet, his house sits quite a ways off the road from this location, and there's quite a bit of softwood in the woods between the locations. So I'm sorry if him or the Halleys don't agree with the retail store, but my hours I'm planning on running are going to be from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. The signs that I'm planning on putting on the building, I out of respect for my neighbors, I chose not to do a standalone big light up flashing neon sign like other places. I do respect them. My signs are going to be mounted to the building, and they're just going to be backlit. There's going to be no neon, nothing. There's going to be nothing there that's an eyesore. So, if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Did you have any more, Max?
Has there been any harvesting of trees or clearing of trees around the site since the site plan was developed back in April?
No.
I have. I have harvested trees on my own property, yeah.
And are you the property with the garage that shares a driveway here
No, sir, I am the residential flow.
to the south of that?
Which he says is behind, which is, yes, in fact, behind the location, yes. It's a clear path of view to his parking area.
We gotta be careful not to get the public involved. This is only for Anthony.
And I also plan on doing the renovation, if we proceed here. You know, I actually plan on investing at least $20,000 into the property, and some of it was actually outdoor modifications. I was gonna take off the existing siding and really make the place look more attractive. So,
Do you intend for the signs to be off, the lighted signs, when you're not open, or will they be on 24/7?
well, to tell you the truth, I was planning on leaving them on, but I wouldn't be opposed to having the signs shut off from, you know, 10 to 6.
Right.
Or whatever hours I'm not operating. I mean, the last thing I want to do is be a bad neighbor. You know, I'm willing to do, if I need to, you know.
I think that's something that you could actually negotiate with your neighbors.
Yeah, I might negotiate with that.
Yeah.
I'm a fair person.
Because I don't believe there's anything in our land use ordinance to just, you know.
I mean, like I said, I could have got a big standalone sign that has red flashing neon, and the biggest sign I could have got. But, you know, I wanted to make it not so much of an eyesore for my neighbors.
That's what a lot of them do.
Sir, will you still be selling medical marijuana?
No, well, not at that location. That's gonna be strictly adult use.
Where is the,
My medical store is 279 Main Street in Waterville. I've been there since 2018.
thank you.
Yep.
Do you have any other comments or questions? So now, Nicole, do we move to the finding the facts on that one?
Yes, you can, if you're ready to.
You have to kind of bear with me, I'm new at this.
Get your back.
So we'll go to the finding of facts for make sure I get the right one here. It's adult use cannabis retail store, conditional use findings for facts, June 5th, 2023. File number AUM, condition 2023-01. Date file was open 5/26/23. Maple Valley Pharmacy Retail LLC doing business as Snowblind Cannabis. Indoor adult use marijuana cultivation facility.
Okay.
Location is 518 Norwood Road.
That's the retail store. The cultivation facility is 502. I'm sorry, there might be a typo from the engineers.
Oh. So it's 502.
502 is Maple Valley Farms cultivation, 518 is Maple Valley Farms retail. I
Did I
have
get
to
'em?
operate under separate EIN numbers
Maybe I
in
got
the
'em
adult use
backwards.
business.
So is this one the 02, not the 01?
This one's a 518 that we're talking about, the retail store.
They're
Right, I think
mislabeled.
on the findings of fact, it says
Okay, it is.
cultivation facility, which is kind of confusing, but
Yeah, it
it's
is.
the 518.
Okay. Told you I was new at this. Okay, so it's location 502 Norwood Road, map 9, lot 31-0C2.
No,
No.
map 12, lot 19.
The right one?
Just
Is that wrong?
Yep, that's the second one you have in front. This is the one you have in front of you right now.
Right here.
518, right,
That's
518.
the one I started doing.
Yep. Maybe I typed something incorrectly on it. All right, you're good.
Well, try again. So it's 518, now Duck Road. Map 12, lot 19. Is that correct?
Yes.
A site plan drawn to scale showing at a minimum the location of existing and proposed structures and distance of lot lines on the land use listed in section 9.2, D number 5, to the nearest portion of the building or outdoor cultivation of the adult use marijuana facility. At a minimum, no adult use marijuana facility shall be located within the following distance from the specified land use listed below on sheet CO1. 500 feet of any existing public or private school grades pre-K through 12 or existing licensed child care facility, public library, or any public parks or public playgrounds designated as the drug-free zones by the town of Fairfield in accordance with MRSA Title 17-A. 500 feet from any existing halfway house, 500 feet from any existing drug or alcohol rehab facility, 500 feet from any houses of worship.
Pardon me? Houses,
This is board members again.
sorry, you misread that.
500 feet from a house of worship.
House or workshop.
Of worship. There might be a typo. 500 feet from any other adult use marijuana retail store facility. Site plan is submitted to the planning board with application. Plan is by A.E. Hudson Engineering, 4723. Additional site plan elements. Site improvements, existing pedestrian and vehicle travelways and parking areas, existing interior lights, existing landscape and visual buffer areas, existing water, sewer, and electrical lines, and outside installation of any machinery or materials. An estimate of vehicle trips to be generated by the developer at peak hours is 10. An HE 200 is a subsurface wastewater treatment plant system which will be used. Septic system existing, installed in 2002, permit number 1832, 75 gallon per day system. A statement from the fire chief that suitable provisions for fire protection have been included. The letter was submitted with planning board. A list of names and addresses of all landowners within 200 feet of the property and bounds submitted with application and letters to abutters were mailed on May 26, 2023. And a legal notice was placed in the Morning Sentinel newspaper on May 28, 2023. The development will not create unsafe or unhealthy conditions within the neighborhood in which it is located and shall not create any exacerbate effects on the neighboring properties. This change of use from medical cannabis cultivation building to adult use cannabis retail store in this existing building will not create unsafe or unhealthy conditions. The development will not create or add to traffic congestion at or below level of service D as defined, and will not create unsafe traffic movements on North Rock Road. This change of use from medical cannabis cultivation to adult use cannabis retail store inside the building will not create or add to traffic that already exists at this commercial building of 10 trips per peak hour. The development will not result in undue reduction of air or water quality or wildlife and habitat, and will not cause undue flooding or soil erosion. This change of use from medical cannabis cultivation to adult use cannabis retail store inside the building will not result in undue reduction of air or water quality or wildlife habitat and will not cause undue flooding or soil erosion. Odor control at this adult use establishment submitted a detailed report on the effective mitigation of any marijuana odors of a proposed operation. Such report shall include proof that the design plan for the purification of air and odor for indoor adult use marijuana establishments shall be prepared and installed by a professional mechanical contracting company to show ventilation system to properly filter marijuana odors. Odor will not be generated from the adult use cannabis retail store. The development will not cause an undue strain on public facilities or services, including public roads, water supplies, sewage disposal, solid waste systems, police, education, or otherwise. Private water well and septic systems serve this building, as shown on the site. This is a state road and traffic will remain 10 vehicles at peak hour. The development will not cause any undue strain on the police department. And we also have a letter from the police that they did check that out and they agree. The applicant has sufficient financial and technical capacity to complete the development. This is minor canopy construction proposed as part of this application. The application has the capacity to complete the project. The development is consistent with the Fairfield comprehensive plan and in compliance with state law, as well as all ordinances and rules and regulations of the town, including the performance standards of this ordinance, unless the board acts waive said standard. The reuse of existing commercial buildings at this previously occupied commercial property is consistent with the Fairfield comprehensive plan for economic development, job creation. It is compliant with state and local laws and regulations. The statement regarding the use, storage, or disposal of any dangerous, toxic, or special or hazardous waste, whether solid, liquid, or gases, and special measures available to deal with them in appropriate fashion. No adult use cannabis will be disposed here. Floor plan shows the location of the required notices warning sign detailed in adult use marijuana business, section 9.2, number 17, as shown on plan A11. A detailed report outlining how the establishment will meet the security requirements. The retail store security plan is shown on sheet A1.1. Signs in accordance with the land use ordinance, section 8.3, and the state main signature laws. Exterior signs proposed on the building as shown on sheet A2.0. Section 9.2, adult use marijuana business standards in the Fairfield Land Use Ordinance number 1 through 22. Standards number 1 through 22 have been reviewed and they have been met without conditions. Can I get a vote from the board members?
I have one more question. Will there be a public restroom at the facility?
No.
Can I have a motion to accept this application?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any objections? Application approved.
So, all four.
Next one. And it's a conditional use permit application for Maple Valley Pharmacy Cultivation, LLC, to change the use from medical cannabis cultivation to adult use cannabis cultivation within the existing building located at 502 Norwood Road. tax map 9, lot 31-32, in the rural district, use district. Have you had a chance to look at the drawings and everything on that one?
So this is, could you give an overview of this project as well?
Sure. The building at 502 Norwalk Road, it's a 7,000 square foot facility. I got my medical dispensary license from the state last year, which gave me unlimited cultivation space for medical. When I built my building, I wasn't sure. I was thinking about possibly going to adult use, but then the state came out with the dispensaries licenses, so I went that route. But I built my building with the knowing that I could co-locate adult use marijuana and medical marijuana in the same facility as long as they were in separate rooms. So what I want to do is I have 3 indoor rooms in that facility that are 500 square feet each. So I was looking to take one of those rooms, room number 3, and I was going to designate that as my adult use room, cultivate under a tier 1 license for a 500 square foot grow, and then I have a couple rooms in the building. In upstairs, I have drying rooms, storage rooms, office space. I'm designating 2 of those rooms for the adult use flower, where one room will dry it, and the next room we have is for the finished products. In the adult use market, everything needs to be packaged and labeled before it hits the store. So we'll do all of that there. At that grow facility, I have an ERV unit there that exchanges all the air in the building. There's, that unit has MERV filters, scrubbers. I've never had any complaints about any odors coming from that facility. I have an outdoor space there as well, with a couple greenhouses that are fenced in, that's alarmed. I'm gonna keep those in the medical market, but my goal is to see how the adult use market goes. I know a lot of people in the industry, and the market's really shifting to the adult use market, and I hope that someday the medical market really just goes away, so we're working in a more regulated industry. My tax rate for 2021 was 100%. So it's not a lot of people think that this is a business and you just fill your bank account full of money. There's a lot of fees, a lot of regulation, and you know, I hope doing things right will pay off someday. Does anybody have any questions about the grow facility?
This will not be open to the public?
No.
No, because they had that chance before.
No, well, and I don't know, he may have meant to.
No, not public comment.
I'm sorry.
Will public be coming to this facility for any sort of purchasing?
No, the only people that come to the facility are either vendors that, because I don't receive my inventory for my Waterville store at the store, because I don't have the storage space available. So vendors, most of them drop the inventory off at my grow facility, where I have an inventory manager that checks it in. So basically it's vendors, contractors, and my employees. That facility's, it's all set now for adult use. When the compliance team came in to inspect the facility for my dispensary license, I had to add 3 more cameras to the facility, and they said that I would be all set for adult use. And I went in and did that immediately after.
And this facility does not currently have a septic system.
Excuse me?
This facility doesn't currently have a septic system.
Yeah, it
Yes,
does.
it does.
Oh, so is there a new septic system being put in
Existing
For the
one, right?
cultivation building? No.
for the cultivation? It says new Enviro septic system on the plan.
Right, that was the type of system they installed when the building was built. This building's been occupied for a couple of years now.
Yep.
So yes, it was brand new, it was vacant land when they originally built it. So,
Oh, this plan
This
is
is
an old
just-
plan.
correct,
Yes.
this is just a change within the footprint of the building.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's no expansion of the building
Correct.
proposed?
No,
Right.
no.
Okay.
No, the only really thing that's changing with the facility is I'm gonna have a room that's
Right.
dedicated to the adult use side instead of medical.
Okay. So no exterior improvements on the building?
Nothing.
I have no additional comments.
All set? So we'll move to the finding of facts on this. See if I get the right one this time. Conditional use finding of facts, file number AUM Condition 2023-02. Date filed open 5/26/23. Maple Valley Farm Cultivation LLC, doing business as Snow Blind Cannabis. Adult use cannabis cultivation room changed the use from medical cannabis dispensary cultivation to the existing buildings at 502 Nordbrook Road, map 9, lot 31-0C2, in the rural land district. A site plan drawn to scale showing at a minimum the location of existing and proposed structures and distance from lot lines of the land use listed in section 9.2D, number 5, to the nearest portion of the building or outdoor cultivation of the medical marijuana dispensary facility. At a minimum, no medical marijuana dispensary facility shall be located within the following distances from the specified land use listed below. 500 feet from any existing public or private school grades pre-K through 12, or existing licensed childcare facility, public library, or any public parks or public playground designated as drug-free safe zones by the town of Fairfield in accordance with MRSA Title 17-A. 500 feet from any existing halfway house, 500 feet from any existing drug or alcohol rehab facility, 500 feet from any housing of worship, 500 feet from any other adult use marijuana retail store facility. Site plan is submitted to the planning board with application. Plan is by A.E. Hudson Consulting Engineering, 5/26/23. Plan CO.1. Existing building and site, no changes are planned at this time. Additional site plan elements. Existing topographic tour, Plan CO-1. Site improvements, none at this time. Existing pedestrian and vehicle travelways and parking areas as shown. Existing exterior lighting as shown. Existing landscaping and visual buffer areas as existing. Existing water, sewer, and electrical lines and outside installation of any machinery or materials as shown. Private well, private septic system. 5 to 8, an estimated vehicle trips to be generated by the development at peak hour. An HHE 200 if a subsurface wastewater treatment system will be used. 9/1/2020 installed. A statement from the fire chief was suitable, that suitable provision for fire protection have been included. A list of names and addresses of all landlords within 200, landowners within 200 feet of the property boundary submitted with the application. Letters to abutters were mailed on May 26, 2023, and a legal notice was placed in the Morning Sentinel newspaper on May 28, 2023. The development will not create unsafe or unhealthy conditions within the neighborhood in which it is located, and shall not create or exacerbate effects upon neighboring properties. This change of use from medical cannabis dispensary cultivation to adult use cannabis cultivation in one room in an existing building will not create any external changes. The development will not create or add to traffic congestion at or below level of service D as defined, and will not create unsafe traffic movements on Nordrock Road. This change of use from medical cannabis cultivation to adult use cannabis cultivation inside existing buildings will not create or add to traffic that already exists for 5 to 8 vehicle trips at peak hour. The development will not result in undue reduction of air or water quality or wildlife habitat, and will not cause undue flooding or soil erosion. This change of use from medical cannabis cultivation to adult use cannabis cultivation inside existing buildings will not result in undue reduction of air or water quality or wildlife habitat, and will not cause undue flooding or soil erosion. See existing odor control system explanation of the life breath energy recovery ventilator used. Odor control at the medical marijuana dispensary establishment. Submit a detailed report on the effective mitigation of any marijuana odors of the proposed operation. Such report shall include proof that the design plan for the purification of air and odor for indoor adult use marijuana establishments shall be prepared and installed by a professional mechanical contracting company to show ventilation systems will properly filter marijuana odors. Odor control, odor controlled by the life breath energy recovery ventilation system. Tongue twister. The development will not cause any undue strain on public facilities or services, including public roads, water supply, sewage disposal, solid waste systems, police, educational, or otherwise. Private water wells and septic systems serve this property, as shown on the site plan. This is a state road and traffic will remain 5 to 8 vehicles at peak hour. No educational service or otherwise are required for this development. The applicant has sufficient financial and technical capability to complete the development. There is no new construction proposed as this part of change of application. The development is consistent with the Fairfield Comprehensive Plan and in compliance with state law as well as all ordinances, rules, and regulations of the town, including the performance standards of this ordinance, unless the board acts to waive said standard. The change of use of this existing building at this previously occupied property is consistent with the Fairfield Comprehensive Plan for Economic Development and Job Creation. It is compliant with state and local laws and regulations for adult use cannabis cultivation. A statement regarding the use, storage, or disposal of any dangerous, toxic, special, or hazardous waste, whether solid, liquid, or gaseous, and special measures available to deal with them in appropriate fashion. Details of the adult use cannabis disposal will be to compost the waste. Floor plan shows the location of the required notices warning sign detailed in the medical marijuana dispensary businesses, section 9.2, number 17. As shown on plan exhibit 6, floor plan details plan A1.2. A detailed report outlining how the establishment will meet the security requirements. The cultivation facility security plan shall be consistent with state law, and all security recordings will be kept for 45 days. They will have security cameras and security lighting. The doors will be secured at all times, and the building is not open to the public. Signs in accordance with the Land Use Ordinance, Section 8.3, and the State of Maine signage laws. No exterior signs are planned. Section 9.2, medical marijuana dispensary business standards in the Fairfield Land Use Ordinance, number 1 through 22. Standards number 1 through 22 have been reviewed and they have been met with no conditions. Any comments?
I have a question on the composting of discarded organics.
Oh, sure.
I'll say.
Sure.
It shows on the site plan, area fenced in, new fenced in compost area with gate, and it appears to be pointing at the parking lot. Is that where that actually is?
The fenced-in area is to the south, the north of the building.
Okay.
And like I said earlier, that is Johnson Controls, JCI, Johnson Control Solutions is my security company. And there's a beam, that detection system that shoots a beam a few feet around the perimeter of the inside of my greenhouse. We had the compost pile closer to the fence inside the greenhouse. And basically, the only thing that we really compost is the stalk and roots. We use 100% of the plant material that we produce there, whether it goes into a pre-roll, even the trim from trimming the flowers goes to an extraction lab, and products are made from that. So the biomass, the stalk and the roots, and if there is any little things left behind, there usually isn't much. They go into a compost pile.
So the compost pile is not exposed to the elements, it's inside the greenhouse?
No, the compost pile is actually outside. It's outside the greenhouse in the fenced-in area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there odor emitted from
No.
compost of these products?
No.
So, could I have a motion to accept this application as submitted?
So moved.
I'll second the
Second.
motion.
All in favor? Very good.
Thank you.
And there's no items by the public on our list. Are there any items from the clerk to the planning board?
Not at this time. You have a few applicants that have talked about bringing plans forward, so possibly for early July, you'll see another development plan, but nothing submitted yet.
Okay. Any items from the board members?
I will note that I think that we, as a board, should be looking at the plans really seriously and making sure that they are reflective of what we need to be seeing for our ordinances. The two plans, or two of the three plans we saw tonight, one with the Lyman's Farm Store, does not accurately reflect all the details that we saw on the first plan. And I didn't see any indication on the plan tonight that all of the details that are on the first plan are relevant on this new plan. So I feel we should have been looking for a complete plan in order to proceed with that application. On the most recent one that we just did, the cultivation facility, the plans associated with that are from 2021 and have a tremendous amount of new information called out that's not actually new.
The only thing new on that is converting one room.
Right, but the plan that was submitted as part of this application is a plan that was used from 2021 that has a lot of details called out as new infrastructure when it's actually existing.
Okay. Anything else? Nicole, make a note of that, of your comments. So can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Moved.
Second.
Meeting is closed. Thank you, everyone, for coming.